Analytic Vizion use Miro a lot for collaboration with our clients, with our teammates, because we are all very remote. One thing Miro also does is, you can create slides and present it. So I am here taking this opportunity to do this experiment by presenting using a Miro. So there is one thing you already learned. And the way to do it is go here, present, and there you go. Awesome. Okay, that's good. So I named the title of my presentation as a journey from data to insights and back. What I mean by back is how I now think from what kind of insights we need to generate, what problem I'm solving, and what do I need to look backwards, right? That's how I feel my journey has been. Before I get into the whole data, my professional journey, I want to talk about a little bit about myself. I am a wife, a dog mom, a daughter, a sister, an aunt to my nieces and nephew, and I am a good friend to my friends, my neighbors, my cousins, hopefully my teammates. Nelson mentioned I work for Analytic Vizion. My role is Analytic Solution Leader. It means anything to do with data, solve problems, figure out solutions for our customers, and do the best job to serve them. I am very, very, very grateful for two of my universities. Vijayadhya is back in Mumbai. I did electrical engineering, 4 years of learning how to build machines, how to build power lines, how to make electricity reach your home, XYZ. I came to US around 20 years ago to do my master's in industrial engineering. Do not ask me how I survived the Buffalo cold, but here I am again. When I'm not learning technical stuff, I love to travel. I like to play board games with my friends. If you want to talk about national parks in US, different countries, food, I'm happy to have that conversation with you as well. Moving on, what I do and why I do it. In a way, I try to put it in words for myself. I love bringing analytics to life by enabling people, right? There are going to be people aspect everywhere in your entire processes. So that's what I do. I enable people with processes, data, and technology. But what also excites me to bring is the context. Context of the problem you're trying to solve. Why are you solving it? What is the urgency around it? Who you need to talk to? Who are you solving for it, right? I believe context is very, very important in every step of the way. That's who I am. That's how I love to do the work. For me, those are like dots. I like to find all the dots and connect them. Sometimes this process is very easy. There are not many dots to connect, but sometimes the problem can really get complex, and you need to just figure out the iterations out there. I see a lot of people nodding heads. I see you go through similar processes and experiences, so that's awesome. So I created this slide, and then like, oh, I remember all the people telling me it's too much going on the slide. You need not have so much stuff. And then I was like, yeah, I agree. And then I was like, okay, let me put some animations in it. Then I realized Miro does not allow you to do animations. There you go, another tip for Miro in presentations. I did not have time to fix it, so we'll just wing it. How I think about this slide, right? If I divide it vertically, the left half is where I think about my journey was data to insight, and the right side, as I matured over different organizations, different data, technology, I started to learn the importance to go from insights and backwards, right? Let's start at the beginning, right? After I learned how to design machines, I got my first job in Reliance. Think Reliance is like, for Mumbai, it's like Georgia Power for Atlanta. It brings electricity in your house and homes. There are many, many things involved in the process, right? You have to lay the cables, do your power step down and up, XYZ things, right? My job was not to design that, sadly. But I was tasked with, hey, I have this historical data of all the things I need to get a budget approved from my government. Tell me what is my CapEx expenditure, capital expenditure or operation expenditure, which I need to get approved from my government, right? So here I am using the best tool the world provided me, Excel. So dumped a lot of data there, did a lot of visualization, did time series, forecasting, had many versions of Excel, things got messed up, but at the end there was a budget and it got approved. So that's my journey. That's where I fell in love with data, what data could do, even if it was Excel, right? I love doing these chats, pie charts, and stuff like that. This is where I really found the power of data and the love for it. So it gave me a good decision, right? That time in the career, I was making a decision. Do I want to go for my MBA, or do I want to go and continue in a technical field? So I chose to do industrial engineering. Back then, there was no degrees like, oh, data science, analytics, and stuff like that, right? But the content of that master's degree was, hey, operation research, yes. Supply chain, yes. Decision science, yes. I went there, and I think this was the best decision I made, because not only the concepts of it, I learned new tools, how to handle iterative loops, how do I do dynamic pricing for an airline using MATLAB, how do I do stored comparisons of different regions using SAS E minor, what does an A/B testing look like, what does statistics look like, what is p-value. You guys have heard all this stuff, right? So there I was learning all the theory of it and having the fun during the process. Oh, don't forget R, by the way. It's very important if you want to do data science. Now I was ready in the world to go to do my big data analytics with all the skills I had. Sadly, back then I did not get the job I wanted, right? I got the job in Cummins. If you don't know Cummins, it's a diesel manufacturing engineering company. You know what? Sometimes they say blessing in disguise. That was my blessing in disguise because, hey, it's okay. They did not have that much big of data. They had big data, small data. They wanted me to study the data and tell why my supplier is having so many issues, because downstream my engines are failing, right? So there I am, again back to Excel, learning through it, learning the processes of it. I also came very close to Six Sigma, right? The biggest thing it taught me was, what is the cost of having poor processes? What are the costs of not having processes such that you are paying, you're doing the rework, there's a lost opportunity cost, and how do you need to have fail-safes and QA processes in your manufacturing? I still use that. I do have QAs in my codes, I have QAs in the Tableaus, I have QAs in my everything I do. So that's a very important thing I keep with me. And as I said, blessing in disguise, I was Six Sigma. My break in data science came and I was following my then fiancé, now husband. I joined Mu Sigma. If you don't know that company, they're basically a consulting firm doing decision science projects for and deal with data science and XYZ things. So up until now, I did what people told me to do, use data, go figure it out, and whatnot. As I started working with Home Depot was my client, I can now tell it like this. And all these projects, right? The client wanted to do marketing campaigns. Hey, I have done this, tell me if the campaign went well or not. So again, this is the results, this is the data of my email campaigns. Tell me, did it do well or not? As I started going from data to insights, I realized, hey, your campaign did well. Why did it do well? X, Y, Z reasons. Okay, we did customer propensity model. Is your customer going to buy the product or not? Yes, no. Why did that happen? So then we get into this conversation about why you want to know your campaign is doing well or not. How is it going to help your choices? Are you going to go back and change the decisions of how you are designing the campaign? And what do you need to look like? So that's how I started asking these questions and thinking more than what I was asked to do. And that's when I started to pivot a little bit. Okay, there's more to the story, there's more to think about it. Let's not forget Tableau. This is ATUG, right? This is the first time I got to play with Tableau. Many ways I have used Tableau. Like you guys, visualize the data. But one of the things I used for was visualizing model information, right? If a person who doesn't know what a customer propensity is, what a probability is, right, how do you explain it? So I want to say, hey, Anna is going to buy a refrigerator in 3 months. Why do I think Anna is going to do that? So then I would visualize Anna's persona and say, hey, Anna has done this journey, like looks like she's doing kitchen remodeling. Let me show what she has done. And that's why I think, because Kanchan also did the same process, looks like Kanchan Anna is going to buy a fridge, right? So we visualize the data on top. Okay, not to go in details. Further. Moving from U Sigma, I went to Georgia Pacific. Similar story, right? I was brought into Georgia Pacific because of my skill sets of knowing what the technical side is, translating that into business context and having a conversation with stakeholders, explaining and how to read the results. I was brought in to drive adoption for Georgia Pacific's machine learning model we had built, right? We used Tableau there as well to visualize not the model, but what the model could do. Like, what are my sales trends look like, where I'm thinking it's going to forecast, and so forth. Look, here this was where it got very difficult because now you want to share your insights with different people, right? It's analysts, it's directors, it's VP. Other conversation is how can I use these model outputs and kind of feed into an existing tools, or let's say it's feeding into SAP, right? Those kind of conversations happen. So this is kind of like how I think. It doesn't mean that you always have to start in the end and say, oh, this is what my business is asking for, right? Maybe challenge them back, asking like, why do you want to know that, right? Does it make sense? It is worth looking into this problem. There will be also instances they will still say, hey, I have this lot of data, please make sense of it for me. There is no right or wrong answer. You can still start from your data and go into the insight. Just figure out along the way, is the stakeholder aligned? Is it going to create value? Because in my journey, right, two things I have seen, or I realize now, is one is adoption, what you create. Is it going to be consumable? Second, are people still wanting it or not? The second thing, I am on the path with Analytic Vizion also, right? I'm continuing this path with them, solving similar problems for our customers. Second thing I'm on the journey, as I said, right, is how to scale analytics. How do I, as data is just growing bigger and bigger, right, how do I handle that? There's cloud analytics, there's Snowflake, there's AWS. So that's how can I scale it and go from there. Along the way, as I'm learning, growing, failing daily, getting excited the next day, I am hoping along the way I equip and inspire myself, and along the way I do it for others. It might be my journey, but I don't think so I could be here without all the people around me. So that is something to know. What has enabled me personally? I say embrace the discomfort. I think a lot of people will agree with this. There are two ways I think about discomfort. The state I am I growing or I am okay with where I am? I'm a person who gets very uncomfortable. I'm a Gemini and I like to do 10 things. And I cannot not be growing. So that's a state of discomfort. Second state of discomfort for me is if if I'm ready to jump to the next, right, whatever that is, whatever professional or personal journey, sometimes I realize after, it's going to be uncomfortable. You have to go back, learn the context, have to wait till people trust you, right? I see you nodding. Yes? It is not going to be easy. It is not easy, but it's a choice to make. You saw I moved around a lot. I still do, because I have this urge to always grow and move along and help people. I care deeply about people. What helps me is the second thing, right? The people. My family, of course, right from helping with my education, going through all my drama, ups and downs. My friends, of course, my peers. See, Anna, you have to find a tribe. They will always cheer you. Some might not be your direct mentors or managers, but you will have someone along the side. Lean on to them. I ask for help. I really go ask for help. I don't know something. Can you help me understand what this is? Am I going in the right direction or not? Next generation, yes. I think the kids now know more than me. For example, my nephew. Oh my God, he makes me feel like I don't know stuff. So he teaches me every day. And then the third most important thing for me is curiosity, right? Be curious. It takes courage to ask questions, but it also leads to discovery and learning. So it's not easy to ask questions. Sometimes I fail to form it in the right ways. I sometimes think 10 times before asking that question. But I've known from my experience that asking questions has helped in whatever case it is. Again, if you don't believe me, Einstein has said it too, that I have no special talent. I am passionately curious, so you can trust him. This was my journey. This is how I am. I am not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. But I will say I'm ever growing and learning. So I hope so I continue to do that till I die. I wanted to help you guys take a few things back with you. So what should I talk about, right? So let's talk about data science project. How would you start? How would you end? What does the journey look like? So I'm not going to go too technical. Maybe I don't know the technical stuff also, but I'm hoping there's one or two things you can take away from it. At Analytic Vision, we always say begin with end in mind. Where are you going? Right? So that's the first step I always think about. Clarify the decision, right? Who are you creating this data science project for? Right? What question are you solving? Right? Are you predicting the price for your product? Are you predicting if your customer is going to buy or not? Why do you need to solve this problem now? Which tell you the urgency, right? Do I need to have the solution in 2 months or 6 months or 1 month? And how are you going to do it? How can be thought about in many ways? Are you going to do R, Python, tech stack, or where does it going to stay? Those kind of things, right? Have this question in mind, because as you are going through this journey, right, you can go back to your clarify the decision and see are you again in line with your project journey or not. The first step, of course, data source. Once you know what you're going to solve for, let's go find some data. I'll take an example of, let's say, toilet paper. Pandemic's hot topic. I want to determine what will happen to toilet paper, what affects my toilet paper sales, right? Luckily, there is transactional information available by store. How many you sold, what is the price look like, which stores are available. So let's say you have transactional data available for your toilet paper product. Let's assume we are talking about one retailer. Okay? Think Publix or Kroger or Walmart or whatever you want to call. the data, right? Okay, you have your end, the independent variable, and know what you're trying to solve for in your data. The first thing to do is clean it, right? Make your columns look nice, have good names, make sure your data types are correct, there are no zeros, no nulls. Clean it. Cleaning can look different in many ways. Somebody want to do extreme cleaning, remove outliers, do XYZ thing. Whatever, just get started. Start cleaning. You start cleaning, then the next step is do the exploratory analysis. What is exploratory data analysis? Just visualize your information, right? Summarize it. What is your sales trend look like? Price trend look like? What other information is available? Do you have any supply chain information? Do you have any promotion information? Visualize it. Oh, once you visualize it, you will see there an outlier. Okay, this outlier needs to be filled. Let's go back to data cleaning. Let's go clean it more. What do you need to do to clean it? Do you want to remove the outlier, or do you want to replace that outlier with a mean or an average value, right? Because there are impacts of removing the data point. So there you go. You have your nice data. It is explainable. It's there a little bit. Now you know your data, right? Let's say, again, going back to the toilet paper, you have your price, you know how many stores you're selling in. Let's say you also know your competitor's price, also know how many stores the competitor is selling, also know where on the shelf the product is going to be. So you have all these variables. Are all these variables having an impact on your sales? How do you know? Can you control all of these variables? I don't know. I cannot control my competitor's price. I cannot control where they place their product. What can I control? I can control my price, my distribution, my promotions. So that's feature selection, right? You can also do nice little correlation analysis and see if there is any relations or not. Is there a multipolarity? Is the same two variables having the same kind of impact? So you don't want to use both of them. Right? There you go. This is your feature selection step. Hey, if you don't make sense, oh, you thought you missed something? Go back to your data source. Go bring the data back in. Do the analysis again. Once you have your feature selection, you're there somewhere. Let's design which model I'm going to pick. It's simple. It's in our case, if you're going to do a linear regression, let's start small, right? Let's not go fancy if you do not have any idea. Because again, there we'll get into different things like, do you want explainable model or unexplainable model? Do you want good accuracy? Are you okay with little less accuracy? You could go linear, you could go elastic, you can go lasso, or you can all do all three and compare them, right? It's okay. Again, remember, when do you need that model? Who does that model need? Those are your things which will tell you how to make decision along the process. So once you have your model, go visualize it. Tell a story. Go take your end user. It's like, hey, I think if you change the price of this product by 10%, right, you're gonna get 20% uplift in your sales. Let's do that experiment. Oh, you did that experiment. Did it give you the results you wanted? No? Let's go back. Why am I not getting the results? Oh, but I did not do the promotions. There was a competitor who did a promotion also. They reduced their price by 10%. That's why I'm not seeing my impact. So what I'm trying to also say, right, get started, start small, experiment, do in sprints, learn, have your stakeholders involved in the discussions and results, and doing it. Keep doing it. So let's say if you are not able to get through the whole process, right? You discover the problem, you discuss it, you design it. Let's say you come up to the exploratory analysis, and you have already cleaned the data. You are drawing trends. There you go, descriptive analytics. You've already done one step of your data science projects. Many of your dashboards are probably like this, just summarizing what's happening in your board. If you get to this point, right, it enables further conversations. Hey, I think there's an opportunity to experiment with price because I see whenever you increase the price, I see a trend in the sales going up and down. Why don't we create a predictive model out of it, right? It's time to like go and ask for budget because sometimes you need budget, you need talent and resource time, right? That's another conversation to have. Once you get everybody in your project, you will have the time to develop, and then deploy it, and then determine if the thing is working or not, do the test. Again, as I said, right, like what's the cost of it, what's the timeline of it, all these factors matter to bring the team along with you. I'll take a pause actually. I don't have much slides. Any questions you guys want to ask? How does this sound? Is this something you go through? Okay, no data science projects? No descriptive analytics? Man, tough crowd. Awesome. I don't think I had time, but I went fast. As I said, like, this is women in data, so I thought I'll share some of the people I follow. One of the great, Kanchan Karadkar is a person who she's a chief data scientist at Google. She released all her training materials. She simplifies data science like an awesome person does. Key values. She'll tell you in terms of a dog named Fido. If you want to start a data science journey, look at her videos. She's awesome. If you already know your stuff, then she explains it in a very simplified way. I also go through it sometimes just to refresh my memory. Right? There's so much in your head nowadays. Sarah Bailey, I do it for, she's awesome. She does all manifestation. She's a cheerleader for herself and she does it for others. When I need somebody to cheer myself, I do it for myself. Because I go trouble my husband a lot. But then I also go look for some of the things she says. I started recently following Brené Brown, thanks to Nelson. She says awesome stuff too. And then another person is Sudha Murthy. She is the ex-chairman of TCS, Infosys. Thank you so much. I just have that grouped up. I said like a chairman, but she's the wife of Mr. Murthy too. Yeah. That's all I had. Thank you so much for passionately listening to me.